That and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, man.
Got me in a bad mood on Sunday because it just can't be Stroud having a good game. Let's leave it at that. No, let's compare Stroud to our quarterback here and just use Stroud's stats to bash our quarterback.
When they said C.J. Stroud has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett has his career, I said, oh, y'all play it. Why y'all being messy like this right now, bro? Super duper messy. Then they said, oh, yeah, he set the rookie passer record. The record says Andrew Luck. I was like, oh, they said that one? And did you see the fashion? I said game-winning drive, drop the bucket.
Oh, and I was rooting heavy against the Texans there, just because they're an AFC team and they might be in the playoff mix. Now, I mean, they're 500.
Hey, yo.
I was rooting against them heavy.
He started drive. I say no way.
Because Baker put his own little drive together to close it out. Yeah. And then, CJ got the ball, I think it was 40, 50 seconds left. He's good. He's good. I got nothing against him, but I'm tired of the Pickett comparisons and just using Stroud to bash on Pickett because over the last 17 games, which is a full season, how about this stat? 12-5.
There it is. There it is, bro. That's how I look at it, man.
With Kenny Pickett leading the Steelers, we're 12-5 over the last 17 games.
Gotta win. That's what we looking at, baby. Wins versus losses, man. Wins versus losses. But nah, dude, it was crazy though, man. Like, the Baker drive in itself was unexpected because it's Baker. So I was definitely like, all right. He had a little play, had a little scramble. I'm like, okay, Baker, you lead your little drive. And yeah, it was definitely impressive with Stroud though, man. But I didn't get a chance to get on social media, obviously, when I thought things were going to be taking a little bit turn. That game ended and we said reset. All right, let's get chaotic again. Hence the reason why I ain't catch that Bills game, but anything that happened after that 4 o'clock time frame. Sure. But yeah, man, I did. Like I said, man, Stroud though, that was impressive, man. But like I said, you can acknowledge Stroud, we can acknowledge Dobbs and their success, and it still doesn't have to take away or minimize what Kenny has done. All three of them dudes can still be, I don't even know how you say it, celebrated to an extent, right, for what they've accomplished in these various situations without it. Oh, well, his is more important than that, so it takes away from that. This guy takes from that. I don't think it has to be that. I know naturally we just want to compare because that's what we do with sports, but it's like what Kenny has been able to accomplish when you're talking about the 12-5, when you're talking about the clutch moments, when you're talking about
constant improvement from when he started.
Along with, him having a situation where he's replacing a Hall of Fame quarterback. The expectations are elitely higher. So when we talk about the pressure situation that Kenny has walked into, it is a very different scenario. Granted, for C.J. Stroud, he has his own level of stress and pressure because he's the number 2 overall pick. He's coming into a franchise that has never really had the answer. You had your Deshaun Watson time frame, but we obviously know that kind of got crazy with everything that took place from a legal standpoint with him. Yeah. So it's like, that's his whole beast, but the expectations for the Texans versus the expectations for the Steelers are night and day. If we're talking about overall team success, overall in-season expectations.
And what they're asking the quarterback to do. The surroundings for each player are different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Dobbs I know this Vikings thing was just a one-off, just in terms of the league as a whole. Again, Dobbs stepping in for the Vikings like that. But with the Cardinals, Dobbs, no expectations, right? Yeah. A lot of times even like coming from behind. So what are you going to do with that? I mean, you're going to be out there slinging it, being a little bit more carefree. Kenny, we're asking him to do a whole different thing here right now. Protect the ball, win the game, We're going a lot. I mean, we started to find our identity after the bye. We're going a lot through the run game.
And the thing is this too, man.
Different coordinators. It's just all different scenarios, right?
Each week we're seeing improvements from the team and from him specifically. Now, the question is, how much further will he continue to improve? How fast will these improvements happen? We know certain things that we're going to want him to be better at. We all got certain things we want to be better at. But I just look at it as now, the further we get removed from the bye, it's like, okay, well, we saw this, check that off. Okay, we saw this, check that off. Now, okay, we want to see more routine stuff. We want to see more of these type of plays, check that off. All right, it used to be a time we wanted to see more consistent deep throws. It's like, no, we were seeing enough of those. We feel good about that part. It's like, all right, let me see you hit these throws consistently now. All right, with Matt Canada, it was a time where we were like, man, can we just see you look like you have a good flow or a good feel for it? All right, we start to see some of that. All right, can you feature certain things or have a little bit more spontaneity with your play calling and stuff? So it's like we're seeing some of that growth, but with Kenny, I think we definitely got to get more of it, and that's where we at right now. But the beautiful
my money's on it happening.
Yeah, and as long as you're winning, that buys him time. If we were losing, man, it would be way more pressure. It would be way more sense of urgency on them. But they're winning. So as long as you're winning, man, it buys him time. Now, that's not going to make it where he has forever to play like that. But because he is winning, that is the falling, the thing that you fall back on right now is, look, man, we working through some stuff, but we are still being successful in that process.
And that's one of the things Tomlin highlighted in his press conference yesterday. Dude asked him a question about Pickett's QB rating in the first 3 quarters. Tomlin made it a point. He's like, wait, you're just not going to mention the rating in the fourth quarter? What about that? What's that rating? And he's like, yeah, it's like over 100 something. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm concerned about right now. We'll fix the other stuff with the first 3 quarters. Like for Kenny to step up when you really need to, backs up against the wall. He's like that. He runs to that, and that's what I want out of my quarterback.
I remember when we had that convo a couple weeks ago too. He said, man, if you happen to pick between starting fast versus finishing strong, man, give me the dude that's gonna finish strong. Give me that dude, because we know, all right, man, anything can happen after you start fast. Anything. But, man, if I got a dude that I know, man, if we just keep it close enough.
Just keep it close.
Just keep it close enough, and we have a defense that we know has the potential to be elite when healthy, when playing up to their standard. But even if they're not elite, we know that they are really, really good. So, just with that alone, you're going to be in these games if you don't turn the ball over. And if you're telling me at least get it to that second half, this dude is going to be able to play his best ball, well, man, that's the recipe right now. But it is improving, and we will get more of it.
Yeah, my money's on him hitting 5 and 10-yard drag routes going forward.
He has to hit, though. Right. Because obviously that was the big part that everybody went crazy on, and rightfully so. If you're a quarterback in the National Football League, those are throws you got to make. But to act as if nobody has ever missed them throws, I think that's the part that gets annoying.
People are just so hypersensitive with it right now.
They act as if he's the only quarterback to ever miss a drag route, to ever miss a comeback, to ever miss a deep throw. It's like, bro, it's the National Football League. You're still going to make mistakes. They're still human. But can he be more consistent? Yes. And I think both things could be true with that. But, yeah, they definitely crucify right here, though.
If that's all you want to focus on is the negative, if you just want to focus on Kenny's misses in the first couple quarters
both of them, man.
And compare Kenny's stats with other young quarterbacks around the league and use those stats to bash Kenny, go ahead, be that guy. Go ahead, be that guy, because I could bring up so many more positive comparisons if you want to compare Kenny to other young quarterbacks, not only now but in the past. And then I could point out so many positive throws and great throws Kenny has made.
No, big facts, bro. Big facts. 'Cause I always look at it like this, man. Like, when you debate, they cherry pick the stats. So that's why you get this specific of the first 3 quarters. What do you think about that version of Kenny? And if you're a Kenny supporter, you're like, well, what about the 4th quarter? You know what I mean? So it's like, we all kind of doing the same thing with it. But, yeah, I think both things can still be true to an extent. Do you want him to be better in the first part of the game? Yes. Do you still love the fact that he is clutch as heck in the end of the game? Yes. Now we just got to see how fast we can bridge this together. And if it happens fast enough, then great. If not, then obviously that's when, you start decide to go shopping and stuff like that. But to me, I still feel like, man, we're in the heart of his evaluation right now. And you still can't just make the final decision today.
And like I said, after that Jaguars game, I would have loved to have seen how that played out if he would have stayed healthy. I do think we win.
It would have been interesting, man. His track record has proven that in those type of games, he's coming out on top. You said 12-5. So
game close at home.
12-5 means more times than not, he's gonna find a way to win it if it's close like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to say it's in spite of him, but 7 game-winning drives has something to do with wins. No, I would like to think so.
If it's 12 wins and he's accounted for 7 game-winning drives, I believe 7 is more than half of 12.
Not turning the ball over that stretch, because probably the last 17 games, it's close to around the bye last year. Only had 1 interception all last year, and what's he on this year? 4 interceptions, so 5 interceptions in all those games.
Very true.
That has to have something to do with winning, no? I'd like to think so.
I mean, I would. Hope so, at least. Hope so.